Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin Show. Today is July the 28th, 2018. Conviction. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Strong hand. All right, everyone. I'm starting out this show a little bit differently today. You know, a lot of people complain that in cryptocurrency, there is no customer service. You can't just call a phone number and say, what happened to my Bitcoin? That is an opportunity, people. Someone out there just needs to start a customer service business for cryptocurrency. You can go a lot of different ways with this thing, people. So I'm telling you right now, the URL btccustomerservice.com is available. There's your tip of the day. You can buy that thing. You can just hold on to it and sell it one day to some other dude, or you can start a business over it, about customer service. There's a little tip. You'll learn something new from this show every day. Josh Kohout over in the super chat just sent me $1.99. Thank you. He says, thanks for calling out my weak hand. I needed it. Yeah, sometimes people need reminders that they get weak hands. There's no shame in that your hand gets a little weak sometimes. You got to work on it to have a super duper Meister strong type of hand. So you can pound that like button like everyone down in Australia is doing right now. I noticed in the chat, there was a guy, the Fundy, Nathan. He was over in Western Australia in Perth. And then over in the east side in Melbourne was Bitcoin to the moon, of course. So shout out to those dudes who are in Australia. I guess they're waking up in the morning and watching this lovely show. And now they want to start their own customer service companies based on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. All right, check out This Week in Bitcoin, which was yesterday. It was a 4-man panel. Mexico and Israel were represented. Yes, Daniel in Mexico is alive. Of course he is. And we had a new guest on also. You got it straight out of New York. And of course, we had a classic guest out of DC, Zach, who was awesome. So always check out disruptmeister.com in the links below to see all of my old shows. Get your Trezor link below, cryptohwwallet.com. T-shirts from Cryptograffiti. All right. Don't aim for like immediate retirement, people. I know there are a lot of guys who are like, I want to become rich right away and just retire. Retire, what do you do when you retire? You just play golf and you aim for a comfortable lifestyle, a comfortable outside of the box lifestyle that you can start as soon as possible. That means like, I don't want to call it even semi-retired, just you're doing things that are fun. You're learning, because doing nothing is boring. So, you know, you live a minimalist lifestyle, you save money, you buy Bitcoin, and then eventually you're like, you know, for the next 10, 20 years, I don't have to work too hard. I can start my own business now, travel a lot, learn. I mean, for me, learning and having no boss and having no schedule is awesome. It's just awesome. And maybe it's not for you. I don't know, but I think it could be for you. It's better than just like, okay, I'm just aiming for total non-working. I mean, that puts it all further down the road. You don't know what's going to happen between now and the time you're 55. Why not just aim to have this easy lifestyle when you're 35? Just some food for thought, because a lot of people are like, need to retire. Well, you might become very bored when you're retired. And again, if you're already, 52 years old or whatever, yeah, aiming for retirement it's fine. Yeah, of course. I mean, still, you want to be doing things. I'm sure you have someone who's 52 has a different perspective than I'm talking to all the 20-somethings out there, I guess, or the early 30-somethings. Because that's a lot of the people who are watching this, but who knows? Anyway, it's just good to be active. I love being active, being in motion. You want to be in motion, as someone once said, named Adam Meister. So Andreas Antonopoulos has a new video out there. Well, it's not that new, but I finally got to it today. I really liked it. Measuring success, price or principle. So he's talking about Bitcoin. You know, when is Bitcoin? When can Bitcoin people say it's success? When is Bitcoin successful or that we won? I don't like the "we won" term. Oh, by the way, Josh Kohout again sent $1.99 in the super chat. Thanks for all your efforts. My favorite channel. Well, Josh, thank you, man. This is my favorite channel, too. It's the best one out there, I think. It is. I got the best guest, and I'm just creating original content all the time. Just, oh, God, every day a new video. Oh, God, it's just, you know. But, you know, you get used to it. It's awesome. I just get into – that's why I can give a speech at any moment. You just put me out wherever. I'll give you a speech because I come up with a new show. It's good practice. People should try to do a new show every day. It works the mind. Exercise for the mind. Pound that like button because that mind is a very valuable resource for everyone out there. You got to preserve that thing. Eat well. Don't do drugs. And do exercise. Okay. So anyway, going back to Andreas Antonopoulos. Look, we're staying on this Bitcoin type of. We're not going beyond Bitcoin yet. We'll be beyond Bitcoin soon. Don't worry. Measuring success. Okay, so first of all, he at the 32:50 mark, 32 minutes and 50 seconds, he rips on Ripple pretty nicely. That was an added bonus to this video that a lot of you won't even see because you won't watch through the whole thing like I did. You should watch the whole thing if you're a 20%er and you want to learn. But yeah, Ripple centralized, he says, and he actually compares it to Fed coin. But that's not the point of this video. It's the point of you know, what is success for Bitcoin? And he says, he talks about freedom, that it brings freedom to the people who want freedom. Because eventually, in the cryptocurrency space, there are going to be a lot of centralized players. There might be a Facebook coin, there might be a Fed coin. And most people, even like right now, most people don't appreciate the unconfiscatable aspects of Bitcoin, the uncensorable aspects of Bitcoin. The decentralized, they're like, Ripple's great. I can make a lot of money. And that's where the title comes from. His title comes from Measuring Success, Price or Principle. Because there's so many people that are like, let me buy a fifth tier altcoin and flip it. That's what cryptocurrency is to them. And that's what it's going to be for a lot of people. And that's the freedom and the beauty of this. There are no gatekeepers. Anyone can join this. And as a 20%er, you're going to have to get comfortable with that there are going to be a lot of 80%ers playing around, but they're going to be losing a lot of money. You taking the long-term perspective, you being a long-term thinker, not being impulsive, you're going to do great. You're going to have principle and you're going to have price also because you stuck with the basics that, you know, you believed in. You were tired of having your wealth being inflated away from fiat. And that, for me, what defines success in Bitcoin is when we get as many 20%ers as possible into this who completely protect all their wealth from the inflationary aspects of fiat, and that they're people that have the freedom from having their wealth being uncensorable and unconfiscatable. That for me is what is victory, or when Bitcoin is successful. Because again, it's not going to be everyone. It's just trying to get as many, you know, when we get the maximum amount of 20%ers in here, because everyone can get into this if they want to get into it. There's nothing holding them back. But I wanted to compare it to the internet, and Andreas brought this point up, that on the internet today, the internet is dominated by 80%ers. Facebook, even YouTube, Twitter. But we can all scream and cry about it, or we can go our own way. The internet is gigantic. There are plenty of places for 20%ers to learn. And there are plenty of places, you know, there are corners on the YouTube where you can learn, and Twitter where you can learn and everything. Or you can just complain all day and say, oh, the man controls all of this. No, the man does not control it. The internet, the freedom of the internet is still out there. Very much so. There are plenty of places where you can be with 20%ers, interact with 20%ers, and the same is going to be true with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. You're just going to have to be in motion, and you're going to have to figure it all out. It's not going to be spoon-fed to you. That's not what Bitcoin is about. It's about, you know, you opt into Bitcoin. You opt into Bitcoin. So For me, it's getting as many 20%ers opting into Bitcoin as possible. That's a win. That's success for Bitcoin, and that they understand the uncensorable aspects of it, what it means to them, and that they are now fully protected from inflationary fiat. Okay, Frank Castandini, straight out of San Francisco. He says, Adam, keep it up, the awesome work. I got a vice grip on my BTC, but love hearing the Meister's enthusiasm and updates. Yes, Frank. And, I want to get Frank on this show, too. I've discussed this with Frank. Those of you who are veterans of the show know what Frank and I have talked about. What I've suggested to Frank. We're going to try to appeal to a different demographic on this show. That's really a MGTOW-like demographic, some guys that are going their own way. It's their own personal business what they do. But we need to, I want to have a show about that. All sorts of guys going all sorts of different ways, how this Bitcoin is totally great for dudes like that in San Francisco or wherever you may be. All right, so let's get, and a lot of times they don't have kids. And, when you don't have kids, when you don't have a wife, you don't have that many expenses. You get perfect target audience for the Bitcoin. I've said this before on the show before. All right. So we're going to have one of those shows one of these days. So, Boise, Idaho. We were talking about San Francisco. Now we're going to talk about Boise. A lot of people from California moving to Boise. Why is that? Oh, could it be the taxes? All right. So in Boise, I am going to be speaking on the 8th. The event is now scheduled. It is linked to below. If you're in Boise on August the 8th, I am going to be there. Click on that link below. I can't wait to meet you. And they're going to be hanging out at Buffalo Wild Wings afterwards. Of course, I'm not going to eat there, but I'll be hanging with you dudes there too. All right. And I'm looking forward to Boise. I heard it's like 100 degrees there now. Unbelievable. But yeah, a lot of people, I can't wait to report to all of you on Boise, because I was in Boise in 2015, and I want to see how much has changed. If you can really tell if a lot of California people have fled there, if the traffic's worse and everything. All right. So here's something I heard that I didn't like. More and more people are engaging in politics. Dave Rubin said that, actually. He thought that was a good thing. No, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's a waste of your time to engage in politics and prop up these it's a waste, and to get into these arguments. Political action and engagement, that's not fulfillment, in my mind at least. But so many think it is today. They derive meaning from that kind of thing. Don't derive meaning from politics. There's so many other things you can derive meaning from and accomplish stuff. And I mean, when you get into politics, it just becomes a screaming battle these days. This panic prison. My guy's better than my sociopath's better than your sociopath. And before you know it, you've spent so much time and you're just trying to be politically correct and fit in. For me, that is not a way to go in life, dudes. Go get into the Bitcoin overlay, learn. I try to attain freedom where you don't even have to care about who the heck is. You shouldn't care about who the president of the United States is. It shouldn't affect you at all. Again, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. No senator should affect your life. You can't scapegoat. The more you get into politics, the more you scapegoat. You want to blame someone else. You're not taking personal responsibility. All right. Here we go. Here's another. Speaking of Australians, we were speaking about Australians at the beginning of the show, and we were speaking about MGTOWs, although we were speaking about a specific type of MGTOW. Human is not this type of MGTOW. He's a fan of the ladies, but he says he's got a new video out, Human. He says, don't live life in defensive mode. Go your own way. I linked to it below. He's got some really good points out there. You can't just live in a fear. You can't just be worrying about, I got to fit in. What do I have to say? How do I, please my wife? How do I, no. You got to be going your own way. I'm doing this. This is I don't care what anybody thinks. And that's the freedom that Bitcoin gives you. Once you get into the once you're financially set, once you're financially confident, once you've got a financial plan, you don't have to work for anyone. You don't have to fit in. You go your own way. You say what you want. Like me. I just say whatever the heck I want to do. Go wake up whenever the heck I want to. That's what I think people should be shooting for. not for this retirement, not for like, oh, I'm going to work my butt off for this corporation, then hope they give me a pension one day. No, man, personal responsibility. Bitcoin, make Bitcoin your pension, okay? You got to create your own retirement fund or your own fund to live off of, semi-retirement fund. Okay, I'm jumping all around the subject matters, but Human's video is very good. Don't live in defensive mode. All right, again, I said watch This Week in Bitcoin. It was awesome yesterday. It's linked to below. All right, here is a CNBC article. Almost 70% of millennials regret buying their home. Here's why. All right, dudes. Now, I know some people watching this are in real estate right now. And you know, some people like having houses out in San Francisco. That's great. Again, if you're some dude with no kids and you're got lots of savings, yeah, get your house. But what we have here in society today are all these people. Well, yes, I must get married to this, you know, the hottest girl possible, even though she's going to make me buy her new countertops and new floors and new this. And thus, we're going to have 2 kids by the time I'm 32 because she wants it, or maybe he wants it, or whatever. But these couples are like, because there's no intergenerational wisdom anymore. There's just the generation before us just says this mind-numbing, like, buy a house, get into debt, have nice things. That's why they buy these mega houses way beyond that they can afford, okay, in the suburbs or whatever, because everybody else is doing it. So they are regretful. They are bitter sheep. We have a generation of bitter sheep who are stuck in various situations. I mean, they're in debt up to their eyes because they got to get 2 cars, 2 houses. They got to send the kids to private school, or since they both work 2 jobs, they got to daycare or whatever it is. And they're stuck. And that's the CNBC article. Millennials regret buying homes. Of course they regret it now. So regret it and move on. Figure out a situation. Don't blame the government. They didn't force you to do it. Don't blame your parents. They didn't force you. Did it. You were the ones who wanted to fit in. And for those of you who didn't want to fit in, who get to do whatever the heck you want to do, pound that freaking like button, dudes. And again, get your Bitcoin situation situated before you get into real estate, okay, people? There you go. How about that? How about that for advice? Don't get into debt. That's the millennials. So here we go. Short-term excess over long-term savings is what is encouraged in the West today. And under that scenario, we have seen society, general society, the 80% of society, become sick in the mind and then in the body, and then you end up dependent and blaming and scapegoating, okay? Because you get sick. You're like, oh man, I'm in debt. What am I going to do? Oh, my wife just took half of my everything and I'm even in more debt. And then you become sick and you're already drinking Coca-Cola every day. You're already getting fatter. You have no exercise. And then you start going crazy. And then you have to live off of what the government provides you. And then you're bitter and you're blaming it. You have no one to blame but yourself. You have the knowledge to get out of the system right now. Opt into the Bitcoin overlay, people. Do not become dependent. Do not become a scapegoater. It's not a happy lifestyle. I mean, sure, in the short term, it looks really nice. Dude, I got this house and a pool, and I'm in debt, but whatever, I'm handling it. It comes crashing down real quick. And a lot of those people driving those big SUVs, those suburban moms, they're not happy. And some of them, you guys who are married to those suburban moms who are not happy, unfortunately, you're going to have to one day deal with the fact that your wife may be having sexual intercourse with another man. And that is something that I would not want to be in that position. That would and then she takes half your money. And she ends up with your nice car also. And then she'll mess over the other guy too eventually. I mean, if she did that to you. But what's that going to matter when you're living in the gutter? Who cares? Again, think it all out, people. Do not get into a situation just because everybody else is getting into that situation. All right, the intergenerational wisdom is not passed down anymore. They used to, your grandparents used to tell you, your parents used to tell you, you got to get a good woman. You got to get a good man. They would tell the women, you get a guy who's smart, who's got a job, who's got prospects. Now they're just like, oh, just get the guy with the tattoos and the whatever. I don't care what you get. You got a guy. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, sure, he's a little impulsive. Your kids won't be impulsive just because they're inheriting his genetics. Nah, don't worry, they won't. And then they are impulsive, of course, and it just keeps getting passed down. Okay, so here's a health tip for everyone. Those were some health tips right there, mental health tips. But eat real food. Eat real food. There's just so many. Everyone can get so confused out there. They're like, well, if I do your intermittent fasting, Adam, or if I do the warrior diet, 1 meal a day, I can just eat anything during that 1 meal. No. That's going to defeat the entire purpose. Avoid processed food. Avoid short. There's no cheat days, people. Okay. Yeah, I did this for 6 days, and then on the 7th day, I had a bunch of Coca-Cola and pizza and bread. Eat real. Now, what is real food? Some people don't understand what that is yet. It's just, and again, then there are the people that are like, well, meat is horrible or fruit is horrible. No. An apple is real. Apple sauce that you buy off the shelf with sugar and preservative, that's not real. That it has the name apple in it, but it's not real. Then okay, meat. That's what's wrong. I mean, a cow, a beef. If it's just beef, it's fine. Now, if it's like breaded beef with sugar on top, no, that's not good. So for me, I eat real food. I have garlic sitting there. I've got onions. I got some banana. I got apple. And in the fridge, there's some chicken or whatever. Okay, that's real. Again, once you start breading things, and that's when you're running into trouble, people. So there are all these people that are like, well, apple has glucose. It's no different than high fruit, or it has fructose. It's no different than the high fructose corn. No, there is a difference between the high fructose corn syrup and your Kit Kat, and then an apple. There's a huge, if you don't know, if you think eating a Kit Kat is the same as eating an apple, then you're lost, dude. You're not going to end up healthy, okay? All righty. Real food. That should be your first goal. Then, the intermittent fasting, whatever. Okay, you can move on from there. Get exercise, get movement. Be in motion in your mind and physically. Okay. And yeah, the cheat day thing, I'm not a fan of that term at all. I am not a fan of that term because it's just an excuse to like eat Kit Kats. I mean, no, it's like cancer isn't going to be like, oh, you're not going to get me because you only had one cheat day. You had 52 cheat days a year. No, that's not how it works. If you're putting poison into your body 52 days a year, that's a lot worse than doing it 0 days a year. I mean, you're really increasing your chances of bad things happening to you when you're doing it 52 days a year as opposed to 0 days a year. Do you see how those cheat days add up? All right. So here's another thing I don't like, another saying. Team player. That's like, I think it's BS from 80%ers. That's just a way to get you to be a conformist. You're not a team player? I mean, if you're working from big corporation and they keep on going for this team player thing, like, well, everyone's got to contribute something. There's some people that are smart. No. Just get out of that situation. Be your own boss. Form your own team and decide how much you need to contribute to your team. All right. This team player thing is a way of conformity, and it's squashing. It's getting rid of the importance of actual productivity a little bit. It's saying that, there's some people, they contribute in other ways than productivity. Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, I don't like the team player thing. You got to look out for you. It's now this is like, I'm getting into Yaron Brook territory. Why should I think of myself last? He asked. Why should I think of myself last? That's a great question. Why should you think of yourself last? That's like a sick mentality. Yeah, I want the team. I want the team at work should do better. They should benefit, and I should just, I should work the hardest so my team looks great, and the great business, the CEO, so he looks great and he makes more money. No, look out for yourself. Personal responsibility. So if you fall into this team player nonsense, if you're into this conformist type of stuff, and again, I mean, I'm sure there are times, I'm not going to get into that. If you get stuck and addicted and become a conformist, become a cog in the machine, you have no one to blame but yourself because you didn't look out. You didn't think of yourself. You thought of yourself last. So you got to think of yourself here, people. You got to think, you got to take personal responsibility, or else you just end up being a scapegoater, blaming others for why you're bitter and are stuck with the gigantic mortgage and child support and who knows what else. So yeah, I've talked about this before. The mainstream media, they resent the builders, the makers, the productive, and they glorify the giving. Just the people who just go, oh, I'm just going to give it all away. So many 80%ers out there think like, well, why doesn't that rich person just give everything away? Why doesn't he just give it to me? I'm entitled to it. He's rich. He should have to pay a huge amount of taxes so I get nice roads or I get, no, that's not what the world, imagine if the world was just charity. There would be nothing new. There would be no skyscrapers. There would be no technology. People should aim to be productive and to build and to make, not to give away. Again, the businessmen, they are vilified. They're the villains in mainstream. Thank God we have logical people out there who want to be productive, who don't succumb to this peer pressure and are like, and again, there are plenty of smart people who do become socialists, who do want to just give it all away and want to make me give it away. If they want to give their stuff away, that's their personal business. That's their greater good. But to apply to force me into their greater good is freaking violence, is freaking, they're stealing from me. They want to rob me, okay? And that is wrong. That is very wrong. And again, I'm going to be productive. You could be unproductive, but you can't force me to give away my production to other people. That is just, and that's the way, again, you'll be able to opt out of all that stuff as I have, and you could just spit on all that stuff like I do. Like who can say today, there's so few people who can even say things like this, to say like, no, your charity is nothing. What is that? No, we need more productive people. No, the rich shouldn't be taxed out of their own minds. That's wrong. That's stealing. You should work harder. Take personal responsibility. No one can say that anymore. I mean, only people who are independent of mind. And you got to get to that level where you can say things like this, where you can speak your mind. It's a great feeling. Great feeling. Here we go. One thing I want to address that I get a lot of emails about this in this marijuana industry, that's this supposedly booming marijuana industry. And some guys that are into Bitcoin want to get into this stuff too. Dude, think about it. It's not the same at all. It's a highly regulated government industry. It's like the complete opposite of Bitcoin. And I see why people can get confused, like, because they've seen that Bitcoin has grown so much and they think, well, this pot industry is going to go to the moon also. Totally different stuff. It involves a lot of government regulation. Sure, it's a new industry, but when there's government regulation like that and it's centrally controlled, the big boys, the wealthy, the conglomerates will do very well, to say the least. I think it's a waste of your time to even compare the two. Stick with the Bitcoin. Stick with the Bitcoin side of things, and don't get hooked on. It's much better to be addicted to Bitcoin than addicted to pot. It's also a much better investment, Bitcoin, than these pot farms you're going to start. I don't even know what it is. I would invest in the latest pot company. I mean, they could. What does this mean? Go for the rock, okay? Bitcoin. Okay, because people ask me about this. I have no interest in pot, just like I have no interest in like gold. I mean, it's similar. It's just Bitcoin. Let me stay focused on something that I know is the true future and cannot be regulated. It cannot be confiscated. I mean, in the United States, it's still marijuana on the federal level is illegal. I mean, you don't never know what can happen with that kind of thing. I mean, first of all you do is in Colorado smoking your weed, and again, be my guest. If you want to lower your IQ or whatever, it just helps the people who don't do, or the productive people more, okay? It helps the productive people more when they're people who could be productive who are no longer productive because they're drugging themselves out. But anyway, for the dudes who are smoking the weed in Colorado, and it's legal in Colorado. But how about if you've got some Bitcoin and you've been doing some whatever, you're doing some shady stuff with your Bitcoin. The government thinks you're shady with your Bitcoin, but they really have no proof. Well, they can just come in and federally bust you for your marijuana, and then they'll figure out how to get your Bitcoin at that point. Well, not if you've got it properly stored, you're fine, but you're going to be in trouble. Okay, it's still a federal crime, the marijuana stuff. I'd be very careful if you're a Bitcoin person and you're smoking weed. That's all I got to say, because it still is a federal crime. And in Canada, they're making it. I don't even want to get into this stuff. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. It's so bad. It's so bad for you. I can't. It's like laughable that people still do this. I understand why young people do it, but they shouldn't do it. It's so unhealthy. All right. Yeah, sure. It's better than sugar, or it's better than alcohol. Great. It's better. One vice is better than the other vice. Don't have any vices, people. Try to avoid the vices. No, I'm not going to compare sugar and marijuana. I'm not even talking about it. I was going to talk about individualism. Okay. Let's skip that individualism thing. The intergenerational thing. We'll talk about that next time. Bloomberg. What is this? Here's the final thing we'll talk about. This is gone. Space. I love space. A survey conducted by Morning Consult for Bloomberg Business Week found that only 37% of respondents drawn from a spectrum of backgrounds and political affiliations thought private companies should play a major role in space exploration. Some 45% thought they should play a minor role, and 18% said they should play no role at all. Anyway, this is linked to below. Asked whether they thought humans should colonize the moon, those surveyed were almost evenly split. Asked who should oversee any colonization of other planets, 58% said a coalition of global governments. So many people are statists out there. They have no dreams. I mean, there's some people that don't even think we should colonize the moon. Then there's some people who are like, the government should do it. The government should be in charge of it. A large amount of people said the private industry shouldn't at all be involved in space exploration. Okay, this is linked again. This is linked to below. This is what that just puts it in perspective for you people. Okay, that so many people are stuck in this statist mentality that they can't imagine that private industry can do a good job in space. For me, the first thing that comes to my mind, it should be private industry all the way. Should be doing the entire space thing. Get rid of the government regulation. Let Elon Musk, whoever, want to shoot up rockets, let him shoot up rockets. Let's get some people up. Let's not wait around for NASA and to get enough to beg the Senate for peanuts compared to what these social programs get and everything. Let's not wait for that. Let's encourage individuals, businesses. You go to the moon on your own. And it's just shocking that so many people are stuck with the mentality, oh, it's all right. We shouldn't even leave this planet. We shouldn't colonize the moon. We shouldn't. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me how, I don't know. I guess people don't think outside the box, or how satisfied people are, how they're just satisfied with their statist way of life. There's no dreams. There's no bigger and better. For me, there's always going to be bigger and better. We got to get society off this rock. We got to increase my chances of survival. Everyone, the more, space technology will create more technology here at home. It might cure diseases. It might, we might be able to extend life. Who knows for how long, if the more technology exploration we get into. And space is the ultimate in technology. So I'm just very shocked by surveys like this, how statist everyone is. And I hope you guys are big dreamers. So pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember, I will be in Philadelphia on August the 18th, CryptoCoinCon.com. That's linked to below, $45 to get in there, linked to. And I'll be in downtown LA on the 11th. And as I said, the Boise, and I'll share more about LA later. and on the 8th in Boise. That's linked to below. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. I'll say hi to you guys in the chat. See you later. Bye.